وراء اللعبة واللاعبين عقل يخطط، وفي السنوات الأخيرة كان على المدرب العصري أن يبتكر أفكاراً وأساليب كروية جديدة، الأمر الذي زاد من الضغوطات عليه.
عالم كرة القدم الآن قليل جدا ان المدربين مبتكرين مبدعين، ما عندهمش الشجاعة انه ياخدوا الريسك او يغيروا في كرة القدم، ودي اهم ميزة عند جوارديولا. بيطور في كرة القدم، بيبتكر في كرة القدم. توظيف جديد، هو حر، مرونة ومبدع. مفيش مثلا سنتر يلعبوا بأربعة يلعب 4-3-3. أول ما تبقى معاه الكورة واحد من الأربعة اللي موجودين، الاثنين سنتر باك ده، واحد منهم يروح داخل على نص الملعب. أفكار جديدة وأفكار مميزة، إنما ترجع للمدرب.
الفريق الحارس المرمى يشارك، تصبح 11 ضد 10، وهذا ذكاء جوارديولا، وهذا جوارديولا هو اللي طور النوعية هذا. أنا حارس المرمى يشارك في بداية الهجمة. أعتقد هذا معناتها ثورة كبيرة.
We got to the Pep Guardiola Barcelona era where possession was king. This is what it's all about. Possession is not only controlling the game and kind of deciding when to take chances, when to create chances, and ultimately when to score goals. It was also a very defensive weapon, because once you kept the ball, your opponents could score.
Tiki-taka is just a moment in the history of that team, because they had these players do that. But it's not. Pep Guardiola wants to do that everywhere, even though with Bayern Munich he tried also to win the Champions League, but he couldn't. Winning the championship in Germany with Bayern Munich is not difficult. They win that every year, so that's not the point. The most difficult part is to do it all. When he came to England, he tried it. It cost him 500 million to buy these players who could do that. So, but in Barcelona, he inherited that team from Rijkaard, who won the Champions League with that kind of player. Rijkaard also had Messi already in his team and all the things. So he inherited a team that made it perfect. Copy things like that. Arsene wanted to copy it like that, and it didn't work. So it's not something that has to do with an era of time. It has more to do with the time and place of the players who were playing at that moment there, who could do that.
Back to Eto'o, opens it up to Leo Messi. Messi can he level it? 1-0! Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game of football here in the Camp Nou.
لا ننسى طرق المدربين، هناك تطور كبير. زاد ما ننساش من ناحية المدربين، اليوم تدخل المدرب أقوى من تدخل المدربين في قبل 20 و 25 سنة. هناك تطور كبير بالنسبة، أصبحت عندهم قيمة أكثر المدربين من الناحية التكتيكية. اليوم التوجه أكثر للعب الجماعي والكرة الجماعية، لأن لما تقل إمكانيات اللاعبين من الناحية الفنية، المدربين يتجهوا إلى العمل الجماعي.
When managers today know more, and I think sometimes they know too much, and the modern manager has to select the right data to give him a better information and to make the right decisions. Sometimes you have 100 informations, but you have to pick the 3 or 4 that can be really decisive. And as much when I started in my job, we suffered from lack of information. Today, sometimes we suffer from too many information.
Griezmann, Pogba! Pogba! Constance! And possibly now the world!
If you're talking about 30 years ago, all these all these studies and all these things you didn't have back in the day. So a coach had to do a lot of stuff. Now it's really helpful for a coach to see all these methods and help him also, to see how his players are, how the physical abilities of the players are, technical wise, statistics of the games. So it helps a lot. So when you are a coach at this moment, you have a lot of information already there for you to help you with.
We turn a little bit into there. There's no really new organization that has come out and that has been more efficient. We played with 3 centre backs 30 years ago. We played with four defenders 30 years ago. Why? Because the rationale behind that is not easy to change, and because you have a field and you have to share the players you put on the field in a rational way, and that's why the 4-4-2. You need always 3 levels in your team. You can take one more player into midfield, or put one more player up front, or one more player in your back line, and you need as well to have a rationality on the width of the pitch. That means 60% of the players have to be basically between the 2 boxes, and 40% of your players have to be on the flanks. So I would say for the modern manager, it is difficult for him sometimes. He has 2 management targets. One is to manage the team and manage his staff team. And sometimes that creates problems for him as well, because he has a double management to do, and a lot of energy sometimes has to go into the staff management because there's too many people there. Football is not a chess game. We try to sell it now on television many times, this man should stand here, this man should stand there. Football depends on the right decision of the players on the pitch.
Into Sheringham, and Solskjaer has won it! History is made. Manchester United are the champions of Europe again, and nobody will ever...
It's tough now. It's much more difficult for that. The coaches have to cope with much more element than before. The player is sometimes stronger than the coach himself. So every time the coach have to, compromise with their players and be very careful. Sometimes he wants to deliver some kind of messages to boost the psychological part of the player, and make it positive. But he has to keep it because the player is so big now that you don't know how he receive some kind of complaint from yourself. At the time, yes, you could tell your player, you're not good, I'm not happy about you. You have to react very quickly, otherwise I don't know what I will do tactically. I will have to reshape. If you do that now to a player, you lose him.
I think the way to do it is for the players to find a certain balance, and the balance has to be created in the relation between the players and the manager. The manager is there to coach them. The manager is not there to keep the discipline at any cost. The structure must be made. The structure must be there to protect the manager and for the players to feel that everything is in place and they are not going to arrive into a situation where they feel more powerful than they used to be.
It's not the coach who makes you win. It's the players that makes you win. You as a coach has to figure out how to make them better with the other players around him. How can these big players make the others better? And how can they help them? It's not because of you they're winning. That is where a lot of coaches make that mistake. You are as good as your players.
Missing quotes of Sir Alex Ferguson. He was a different kind of manager. He was different era. I think when he first started managing, players were a lot easier to control. because players had to do what they was told then and wasn't allowed to make their own decisions. The game's moved on now. If Sir Alex Ferguson was to start managing now, I think he would find it a lot difficult. Big change because the players have so much power now.
A coach previously would have worked with a smaller squad size, smaller staff. I think the job of a coach now has gone much wider. Social media has an impact now on the way the coach works. Media movements are big. Interaction with fans, playing squads are bigger, staff is bigger, so the job is just getting larger and larger all the time.
In modern football, I don't like to say that it is a problem between the coach and the player. I think it's a problem between the coach without a structure behind him and the player. What I want to say is that we are not anymore in the time where the coach by himself is powerful enough to cope and to have a relation of education and sometimes confrontation with players that are not the best professionals.
My view is in charge, and it has to be the manager, it has to be the coach, and the owners of the club, the president of the club needs to make sure that the coach or the manager has that authority and has that power, because as soon as that person doesn't have it and the power goes elsewhere, whether that be players or other members of staff or other directors at the club, I think it can cause a lot of problems.